We'll have a grey Christmas at this rate. The forecast's overcast here, so that's great. There's no snow coming down to make it white. At least it's not icy, so we can stay upright. So if your day is sunny or chilly, I hope that it is funny or silly. May your heart fill with cheer at the end of the year, whatever your colour of Christmas. Thank you very much. Good morning, sweet cheeks. How are we? Lesley, not quite enough Vlogmas. Tuesday the 20th of December, my mate Mandy's birthday. So I'll be heading out with her shortly. Hope everyone's well. Thank you for all the comments and thoughts. It's been lovely to hear your memories, so thank you. And it had to be an Elvis song this morning because it was the drummer's Christmas party last night and our musical entertainment was Elvis. Well, I mean, his name was Andy, but he did a good Elvis impersonation. So it was good fun. It was good fun. And two of the members of our drum group got married last night in Vegas. So we did have a Viva Las Vegas moment to them, and congratulations, Lisa and Andy. So yes, it was good fun. Not without incident. The party was held in the room where we normally practice our drumming. And that's the room above a pub in the town centre. And this room, it's not the smartest. It's a bit of a standing joke that it's not particularly smart, hasn't been decorated for quite some time. Yeah, it's a bit tatty, but it's very cheap, and I think this is the key thing here. And it's available. Rooms above pubs and village halls and that sort of thing aren't always available, and they don't mind the fact that we make a lot of noise. This particular pub, it's very popular with motorbikers, and the bands that it has playing are usually kind of on the heavier side of rock, so they're used to noise, so they don't mind us, which is great. And the people there are incredibly friendly and lovely, so it is a good venue, but this room is sad. So that's where we were holding the party, because it's our usual room. Did his first set in the 1968 comeback concert style, so the black leather. Finished the first set with If I Can Dream, which is my favourite Elvis song, link below. So much waving of plastic candles, and yeah, it was fun. Then we stopped for the raffle, and I did wonder if Elvis had ever had to say, after the next song we'll have the raffle. Maybe he did. Who knows? Then he came back and it was more a Vegas style, so different costume. And then the lights went out and we thought, oh, dancing time. No, the power had gone. We were like, oh, okay then. So poor Elvis couldn't sing much. I mean, he could sing but had no backing track, and his microphone wasn't working and that sort of thing. So that we sort of stopped for a minute. We thought it was a power cut. Then we found out that downstairs in the pub they still had electricity. So something had obviously gone with our room. Now, given that in the middle of the floor there is a bucket to collect the drips from the rain, possible anything has happened to the electricity. we decided to relocate downstairs into the main room of the pub. So we carried on down there, and it was a great night. I slipped away before the end. I left about 11:15 because that was kind of late enough for me. But it was good fun, and I finally got to go to a drumming Christmas party. Amazing. So we are on day 20 of the Advent. I didn't touch yesterday's yarn. If I was doing any crafting, I was sewing up snowflakes, so that's where we were at yesterday. So what do we have here? We have some pink acrylic, very pretty colour, not pink, peach. Very soft peach, so that's very nice. So that will go into the Advent at some point. Today's task is another musical one, and I'll link this below as well. Listen to One Day More from Les Mis. I love that song. It's rousing. So I shall listen to that. Poor Mandy, I'll probably be singing it all day. Sorry, mate. My happy memory is walking Catachuta, I hope I'm pronouncing that properly, in the rain. Catachuta is in the middle of Australia, and it translates as something like many heads. I'll try and find a picture to put up here so you can see the scene. So in 2000, we had a trip to Australia, and part of that trip involved going to Uluru, Ayers Rock, and we were struck by unusually wet weather. I say unusually because it's a desert. So we were meant to be on a coach leaving Alice Springs, sort of 3-day trip to Uluru. The coach couldn't go. We did it an hour or two, but then the rainwater was so much that it had closed the road. And being terribly British, I was thinking, well, why can't we use the other road? Because there isn't one, Les. It was one road, and it wasn't open. So we went back to Alice, and we then had to work out what we were doing. And I managed to literally run, and that doesn't happen often, to the Qantas office and get us 2 seats on a plane from Alice Springs to the Uluru Resort. So we could still use our hotel reservation, and that was great. So we had a tour of Uluru, which in the rain was fascinating. But also part of that trip was walking an hour or so, Catachuta. And the rain, it wasn't kind of horizontal rain, which is horrible to walk in. I always say I don't mind rain, I don't mind wind, I don't like the two together. This was just a really kind of wet, drizzly, of course it's wet, a drizzly sort of steady, what my father would call a gardener's rain, because it's the sort of rain you want watering your plants but not bashing them about. It was that kind of rain. And so we had this walk, and some people were in very inappropriate shoes, like flip-flops, but it was just amazing, and just being out in this phenomenal scenery, the like of which I hadn't really seen before, and just this walk. We got back on the coach, because we'd had a coach from Uluru Resort to this place, and we got back on the coach. I was like, that was great. And the driver said, not many people are saying that. Yes, Mad Dogs and Englishmen. So yeah, that was a very happy memory of a great holiday. I mean, we were so lucky to be able to go to Australia. I think we had about 4 weeks in Australia and a week in New Zealand. We toured around North Island of New Zealand. Yeah, I mean, it was a long trip, but not long enough, because these places are so big and so interesting that you only touch the surface of these places. But it was a lovely experience, and nice to relive it. So yes. So today, out with my mate Mand. Don't know what we're doing. I'm leaving that up to her. It will probably involve garden centres and cake. I'm happy with all of that. And then this evening, out with my writing friends. So these are my lovely friends that I met on the writing course quite some years ago. And we're going around someone's house. She's very kindly doing a meal, and I'm taking along the creme brulee. I have bruleed my creme this morning. I should stop saying that. I've burnt the sugar. I mean, that's what it is, but I've caramelised the top, sort of. Yeah, so that's been done. Needs to go back in the fridge once it's cooled, and that'll be ready to take this evening. And it should be a good day. I have a very little bit of work. I've tried to manage my life so that I turned down the opportunity of a ceremony today because I knew it would be late night last night, Mandy's birthday, late night tonight. We have to be sensible, so someone else has kindly taken that. Yeah, so I have a day of a little bit of work in preparation for tomorrow, but essentially it's whatever Mandy wants to do. There's a frightening thought. If we're out and about and I have footage, I will add it on here. But thanks very much. Take care. Hello, lovelies. Right, had a morning out with our Mandy. She decided not to have cake. She didn't fancy any, so we didn't. But we did go to the garden centre. And then we went on a little road trip. And we ended up at Bodiam Castle, which we didn't go into because it's, well, quite expensive, frankly. But we had a little wander around the gift shop and that there. And then I took her home. So, a very pleasant morning with our Mandy. So, I have, about my person, my snowflake cardigan. It's not assembled yet, but you can get a sense of how it's going to be and how all the snowflakes go together. So we are getting there. It's all good. So this evening I am out at friends, and then tomorrow have a ceremony, but I'll catch up with you in the morning. Here are some pictures coming up of the garden centre. They had lots of Christmassy stuff, including starting a reduction on the Christmas items already. They're keen, but all good fun. So anyway, you all have a good day, and thank you for being here, and I will see you tomorrow. Cheers. Bye bye.